Hey, Naomi. Hi, Avatar. Okay. So here we are. Let's get started. Let's see, we've only got 3 of us at this point. How's everybody doing? How's everybody doing?
Fine.
Good. Is that you, Elsie? I guess it is.
Yes, it is.
You're in the dark. You look like a silhouette.
Ah,
I can't see
window.
it.
The window's behind me.
Right. Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you're just a silhouette at this point. Okay. So we're gonna get rocking and rolling here. Okay. Oh, there's Wanda.
Hi.
Okay. Everybody have a good lunch?
Yes.
Good. Well, it is Friday, so let's
Yes, it
kind
is.
of wrap this thing up and take it home. All right, so I'm going to start sharing some of the drawings that folks sent in, and let's see, the one that I want right there. And I separated the drawings from the paintings. Okay, the paintings I'm going to save for next Wednesday. Okay. Since we're talking about paintings on Wednesday. All right, so I'm going to go share. I'm going to select that. Now, somebody had sent me this last week, I think, or the week before, and I never got around to talking about it. And this is one of the, the drawing from the girl with the pearl earring. The problem is, I don't know who sent it to me.
I sent it to you. This is Wanda.
Oh, okay.
I
So
sent it when we first did the girl with the pearl earring.
Okay. All right. So I know that you had sent me one. Did you go back and work on this more, or did you do a new one? Or
no, actually, you had discussed this one. You had told me that I think where the scarf is hanging down by her back, if I had darkened it up,
yeah,
around that area, it would have stood out better. Yeah, and that, right there.
Yeah, pushing that shadow back there a little bit.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. Okay. For some reason, I don't remember going over that one, but all right.
Okay.
We did.
Yeah, we did.
We're good. All right. Then we have this is a drawing that Avatal sent in, and I know she's online.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, Avatal, can you yell at us? You're kind of
quiet. Can you hear me?
Barely.
Yeah. Okay, let me, maybe the volume.
Yeah, I've got my volume turned all the way up, and yeah, I can hear what you're saying, but you're very quiet.
Okay.
Oh, unlike you, right? Nah. Anyway.
Oh, unlike me, right. Don't
okay. So tell us a little bit about your drawing.
Well, this is a picture of somebody that he looked. It's that we all know it's Truman, President Truman.
Mm-hmm.
I was trying to copy picture, and I've done. It seems like the more I add, the worse it gets. So you try to correct and make. Since it's dark paper, it's like watercolor. You have to go from light to dark, and not to ruin the dark.
Mm-hmm.
And so it's an upside down effort for me, method. So I find that the more I do, the worse it gets. So I stop.
Right. Okay. So I got a couple of comments about that.
Yeah.
Okay. One is when you're working from a piece of reference, or even if you're working from life, right?
Yes.
You need to squint your eye down and really look at where the light and the dark are on that face or figure or whatever it is.
Yeah.
And then automatically, if you're working on a dark background, obviously you're going to be working with light. So I would kind of make, a shape to represent the light side of the figure or the face. And then I would just take my pencil and just generally, I just put down like a really light, tone. So I'm not pressing real hard, but I would just treat the whole area with some kind of light value. Because if it's on the light side of that head, then there's not going to be like any real strong darks, or deep shadows. The deep shadows are going to be over here on the side plane of the face, right?
Yeah.
And so, see, I wouldn't do anything here. I would just kind of put a light tone all over that front plane of the face.
Yeah.
And again, just when I say light, I'm talking about pressure. I'm not talking about value. So it still remains a fairly dark value at that point, but you've separated out what's on the shadow side and what's on the light side. Once I have that shape and that overall tone laid in, then I would begin to build up my lights, on this side and keep pushing it lighter and lighter and lighter until I really had a good range of value on the light side of the figure. And then on the dark side of the figure, to end with, I would just lay in a couple of very light passages to suggest that there's some kind of reflected light or some kind of change in value over there. But you can't let any of this get as light as what's on the front plane.
Yeah, I know what you're saying, and I agree with that, except that that picture itself had that discrepancy. It almost seems like the light came from two sides because the neck area under starting from the ear down, should not really be lighted like that.
I wouldn't think so. Now you were working from a drawing or a painting or was this a photograph?
I thought it was a photograph. I can even show it to you right now.
Okay.
Can you see it?
Not really.
You cannot see.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. Lift it up. There we go.
Oh.
All right. So yeah, it's well, it's actually an illustration. It looks like. It doesn't really look like a photo.
Yeah.
Looks like it was an illustration. Yeah. And they do. They seem to have a lot of light hitting that neck area for some reason.
Yeah.
But you see how light the forehead is?
Yeah, yeah, of course, yes.
Right.
And it was light at one point. That's why I stopped working on it, because it looked like I wasn't able to. I wanted to follow the form, like you always say, with the marks, and it looked like he had streaks on his forehead. I wasn't able to accomplish. My technique is not good enough to accomplish that. So.
Yeah, well, after looking at the reference, what I'd say is you could definitely push this whole area right here even lighter. So you could go back over it a couple of times and keep building up that light until you get that really feeling like that's got a lot of light on it. Because right now it doesn't. It's, there's nothing other than like the front plane of his nose and a little bit here at the chin. And just maybe a little over the eyebrows. Those are the only really light areas you have. And as I was saying before, what you've done here on the neck and everything else is getting almost as light as these. So it's like you need to get lighter than that.
Okay.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
What is it? What is it drawn from? What is that color? What is that made from?
Well, it's on black paper.
Okay, but what's the color that's...
Yeah, what are you using to draw with?
Yeah, what's the medium? What is it?
It's a pencil. It's a kind of ochre, yellow ochre. It's not.
Okay.
It's darker
Okay.
yellow.
I
Okay.
see. Okay.
So it's not like a real light color. It's kind of a mid tone. Do
Yeah.
you have a white pencil?
Yes, I do. Yeah.
Well, you could add some of that white to that forehead, and again, immediately it would start separating and making this much lighter.
Okay.
You know, showing that there's more light on the front plane of the face.
Okay, I'll try that. Thank you.
Just an idea. I can see the palm of June's hand. All right, anyway, moving on. Okay, then you did this drawing.
That's terrible. Looks
Okay.
like fails or something.
Uh-huh. Well,
Yeah, go ahead.
it's a really expressive drawing, you know, but again, you could have really pushed, you know, and simplified what's in light and what's in shadow, and it would have maybe been more effective for you. Okay.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah, because again, you know, you're working on this dark background, and that's fine, but somehow you've got to simplify and really make a real clear distinction between the areas that are in light, the areas that are in mid-tone, and the areas that are in shadow. Okay. And so you're breaking it into these major blocks of value, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And if you would have pushed that more, then you would have gotten more form out of it. Okay.
Okay.
And working on a dark paper is fine. Perfect example. Okay. And we've talked about these before, but
Yeah.
you know, this is Scratchboard, and you know, Bob had done this, and he's probably got a little more work to do on the toes of the shoes to try to make them a little bit lighter and try to make them feel a little rounder. But this is where you're actually scratching into that black surface, and underneath it is some white, so that you're revealing the white as you're cutting away the black. But same thing. See, he's got to create this overall lighter value in this area, you know, and he's getting close, you know, up in here, right? So you can do things like that working, you know, on a dark background, but you have to be very conscientious about what your range of values are, and then separate out and simplify, you know, these big blocks of, okay, it's overall going to be lighter here, it's going to be darker there, and just separate them. You know, same thing here. You know, this is a hood ornament, kind of a chrome, and so he's trying to get that metallic effect, and there as well. Okay, so you can do things like that by working on, you know, a dark background, and it's not a bad way of working. You just have to really push and be very clear about separating out, you know, what's going to stay in shadow is going to be the paper, you know, and then you're going to have to really push the lights on the light side to make them feel like, okay, it's light over here. And then the mid-tone, you have to find a partway compromise. All right.
Yeah, okay. Thank you.
I don't know, is Bob here with us? I don't know whether he is or not. This is the drawing he sent in, and this is from a photograph, and I've got the photo. Looks like a family, you know, picnic, or, you know. It was an older photo, probably I'm guessing probably the 50s, maybe early 60s. You know, just looking at the dress, and yeah, probably more 50s, looking at the car. Could even be back to the 40s, you know, late 40s. But that's what it was drawn from. So he's well on his way. He just, you know, he could push some of those darks a little bit darker, because really, like, the darkest areas that he has really right in here, it's just really kind of barely getting over into the dark range. So again, you know, he could really push that, you know, quite a bit more than he has. Let's see what else. He had this drawing as well, and it's an old boat, you know, in dry dock, and evidently somebody's working on it. Yeah, they got the ladder up on it, and they're fixing it. And there's nice perspective in this. You know, it's kind of pushing back along the hull, but right here, it's kind of awkward. I'm not quite sure what's happening here. It doesn't seem to quite turn, you know, as far as, you know, what's the front plane and where's the side plane. You kind of expect it to be right here. But again, look at the value. See, the value on both sides is kind of equal. And that can't really be, you know. My guess is that this area over here needs to be just a little bit darker. And then that would separate and say, okay, that's the front plane, that's the side plane. And you can kind of see it here on, I guess he's got a little bit of the side plane of the superstructure. And he can push the value a little bit darker over there as well. And that would get it to turn for him. This is a woman's face, and he's,
Wow.
you know, he's repeated it 3 times, so it becomes kind of a ghosted image. And it's nicely done. You know?
Yeah.
Again, you know, the face to the foreground right here, again, he could have pushed the value a lot darker.
The only thing I see is a boat.
Pardon?
The only thing I see is a boat.
You see a boat?
Yeah, the one that you were just on a minute ago. It hasn't moved.
Huh.
But then I'm getting on too. So.
Well, okay, because here. Now I'm at the boat.
Okay.
Now I'm at the family.
I'm not. Mine is not moving.
I wonder why it's not.
froze.
It took me this long just to get on, so something must be wrong.
Yeah.
Your screen is
Just
froze.
go on.
Maybe
Yeah.
something in your screen is frozen. I don't know.
I don't either. Okay.
Is everybody else seeing the face right now?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
I have
See the face.
Mhm.
Uh-oh.
Okay. All right. And was that Bernice?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. I thought I recognized your voice. All right. Well, I'm sorry about that.
That's okay. I live.
All right. And then he also submitted this drawing.
That's
This is
gorgeous.
a
Nice
nude
too.
figure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And again, you know, it's pretty nicely done. You know, I kind of looking at the size of the head. The head is coming forward, but it still might be just a little bit large in comparison to like the rest of the body. I mean, she's fairly compact and fairly compressed in that pose, but I would kind of expect to see maybe more, you know, more leg, more hip than what he's got right there a little bit.
It's gorgeous.
And then he did this, which was a police badge. And again, I think this is a scratch board. And he seems to be experimenting with doing the scratch board, scratching it out to white, and then going over it with acrylic, you know, as a glaze to add color, you know, to those lighter areas. Okay.
He's good.
Yeah, he's doing some fun stuff. Let's see. And then John Gigliotti sent this in. And we talked about this piece this morning a little bit about the perspective and about, you know, how to get things to move backward and come forward and the scale of things. And again, here the clouds, you know, they're kind of beginning to work, but he could have pushed it a little bit further. John, are you here?
Nope.
I didn't see his name on the list.
Yeah, I can't see everybody right now.
Mhm.
I don't see him on the list.
Okay. All right. Yeah, we have a smaller group this morning, or well, from this morning. We had 20 this morning. This is
You
June.
have one less now.
We have
All I see is the word Zoom.
oh, that's it?
I said, you have one less now.
One less now?
One less person because I can't see anything.
Oh, okay.
Maybe you should leave the meeting and start again.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, maybe try that and see if that helps, okay?
All right.
Yeah, so maybe, and then log back in. So this is a drawing of me from June,
Yeah.
from the photo that I had up or whatever. I had done a drawing of it. So, I don't know, June. You think you got me?
Yeah. I'm not sure.
You're not sure?
What do you think?
I don't know. I think
A
I
little
look,
bit.
I think
Not
I
a-
look casual enough. You know? You got my t-shirt, my shorts, and my flip flop. That seems to be my normal mode of dress these days.
But
Um,
not the eyes.
Not the guys. Yeah,
No.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's something, but how big is this? This is not a very big drawing, is it?
Not a bit.
Yeah, it's hard, when you're trying to draw somebody's face at a small scale. You really have to simplify. You can't try
Yeah.
to get in a lot of details. The smaller the
Yeah.
head, the more simple you got to make it. Okay. And then you send in this lovely piece. Okay,
That's nice.
this is a baby.
I like that.
Yeah, it's got a nice feel to it. The proportions feel pretty good. The thing is, again, it's like with the face, it's like you try to get in too much detail. You try to make the marks too dark and too hard. And so it made him look like a little old Asian man.
It really is.
Right.
It is.
Yeah.
He's scrunching up.
What is that, Elsie?
I said he's scrunching it up.
Yeah, he is. It looks like he's kind of scrunching his face up a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you would have lightened, some of the value, and not quite got so dark,
Yeah.
around the features and stuff, it would have had kind of a softer feel to it. And
Yeah.
he probably would have looked a little bit younger than he does.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Got it.
But that was a good try.
Thank you.
Let's see. Then we have, well, I think we talked about this one earlier. This is Larry.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah. And I haven't seen the update on it. Yeah, that one we talked about. But yeah, he sent me this one. So he finally got it done. And this is from that reference that I sent out. The woman who was, on horseback shooting an arrow. And, he pulled that one off pretty well. I mean, it's got a nice feel to it. The horse feels like it's moving. Again, he probably got a little too tied up in trying to get too much detail in the face. If he would have simplified it, it would have been probably a nicer drawing. And,
Could have put a hat on her.
well, you didn't have to put a hat on. You just, yeah, you didn't need to define all the features quite so much.
How about a bag over her head?
Well,
Oh
don't
my
do that to her.
goodness.
She might fall off the horse. Okay.
The horse is doing the driving.
But that's one of the problems in doing a drawing, particularly of people. It's like, how much is enough, and a lot of times, you'll get something that's beginning to work, and then you'll go a little too far. You'll push it, and get a little too much detail. And the thing I would say about that is stay away from the detail. Detail is not the thing that's going to make the drawing better. It's composition, value, being able to, build, you know, some structure or form, you know, to what it is that you're drawing. Like, for example, this is a pretty nice charcoal drawing. This is from Linda Randolph. And Linda, was this from one of our live classes?
Yes, that's 3 2-minute. That's 3 2-minute with a model. That's why I sent it. Somebody was asking what we did in the 2-minute, you know, I can't remember what you call it.
Gesture drawings.
Gesture drawings.
Yeah.
Actually, I was supposed to do the whole person, but in this case, I did the heads because her face was so pretty.
Well,
Anyway.
basically, gestures are to warm up, and you just focused on her head and her hand, you know, which are really expressive, and you know, got a nice, you know, a nice feel for what she was doing there. This is another gesture drawing. Again, you get a better sense of the whole figure now. And again, these are these like 2-minute drawings?
These are 2-minute drawings. Someone had asked what that was, so that's why I sent them. I thought, well, we'll just show, you know, what we did at Benson in class.
Right. Yeah. So again, you know, there's not a lot of time to put in a lot of detail and things. But if you look at each of these, you know, you can tell a little bit about who she was drawing, the weight, the movement. Okay. I mean, I think you could have taken her off the top of the page there, you know, to get her proportion, Linda. But
oh yeah, she looked like a child. She's too short.
yeah,
I was trying to squeeze her in.
Yeah, you shrank her a little bit, but that's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Now there's a single drawing.
That wasn't a 2-minute. That was a longer one.
Okay. Yeah.
I don't remember how long, but it was long.
Yeah, well, this isn't the same model. The model before was Argentine. This is trying to think of the name. She was one of the last models that we had. But anyway, yeah. But you got a nice sense of the figure standing there, and you know, where the light and where the shadow are, you know, on her. So
it was just to show some of the things we did in class.
Okay.
Right.
Yeah, here's another gesture drawing.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
That could be fun. That could be a fun contemporary kind of art, abstract.
Yeah, you can always take things like that and work from them as sort of a reference source, you know, and create, you know, abstract paintings from them. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that. Certainly
Is there
do it.
4 people or 5?
Oh, it looks like more. It looks like.
It's I
think I see
7.
5 heads.
Yeah, I got about 7 figures in there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, because she's drawn through and over some other ones,
Mm.
you know. But yeah, she's got like 7 because there's a head down here, and then there's
I missed that one. Yeah,
a head there and there. So there's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's kind of what I count. But again, you know, quick drawings just to sort of capture the movement, you know, of the figure and try to get the links and proportions in as best you can. So it's all good. And then we have Naomi. Naomi sent in this piece, and we talked about this the other day. I don't know whether she's done any kind of modifications or changes to it, but the woman's supposed to be screaming, or, you know, she's, what is this? Angry. Yeah. I'm not so sure about the angry part. Anybody see angry there?
Angry, yelling.
Yeah, yelling maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, I kind of think more like in pain than anger.
Yeah.
Let's see.
The eyes are in pain.
Yeah.
Anguish.
Yeah, I don't get the angry. Now let's see. This lady's supposed to be sad.
No.
Yeah.
She looks angry.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, she might be one of those passive aggressive angry people. You know, she's not showing a lot of expression on her face, but it kind of looks like she may be a little fed up. You know, so let's see. And then we have a cow, and this is, he's supposed to be happy. You know? I don't know about clowns. You know, I kind of wonder. You know, clowns to me, even though they're kind of silly and everything, you know, they're kind of sad at the same time to me. Maybe it's just me. There's another one. He's definitely kind of a sad feeling hobo, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's see. We got a lot of Naomi's here. Yeah, this now she looks a little bit sadder. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'll buy that. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll buy that one as being sad. There's another one, and she's supposedly in deep thought, so she's thinking. Yeah, maybe. Actually, she looks a little annoyed to me, but that's
Curl of the nose.
something with the nose. Yeah.
Curl of the nose, like she's fed up and she's going to explode.
Yeah. To me, I think it's kind of the kind of how the mouth moves at a different angle than the eyes. It's like she's got her lip kind of pursed or puckered, you know, or something.
Yeah.
A little bit. And then this is the last one that I've got, and well, she's looking up, but she could be a bit sad. You know, now the thing I would say with Naomi, and I don't know whether she's here or not, I haven't heard from her, but you know, I keep talking to her about trying to build in a structure or a form before she starts putting down the actual features of the face. And I have a lot of resistance with her about that. But, you know, by building the structure, the underlying structure, like what's the front plane of the face? What's the side? What's the top? You know, do you see the underside of the neck? You know, just getting those basic structures in, then you know where to put the features and to place them correctly. And she's always kind of struggling with that. They always seem to be a bit askew or something, like the whole picture is a little bit distorted. And by building that underlying structure, you know, then you can get get the features placed in the right place, and it feels like it actually sits on a head. And that's not really quite happening quite yet there. So anyway, that's all the drawings that you guys sent in. I've got some paintings.
I sent you some drawings in.
Pardon?
This is Wanda. I did send in some drawings.
You did?
Uh-huh.
Okay. I didn't see. Now, what did I get from you? When did you send them in, Wanda?
Goodness. Today is Friday. I must have sent them in Monday.
Oh,
I could have sent them over the weekend.
Oh, okay. We may have looked at those, but
No, these are brand new. I haven't even seen them on here yet.
Uh-huh. Let me go check something out here.
Okay.
Because I
resend
just
them?
went through a whole bunch of work. Okay, so Wanda, here's what I've got for you. And I don't think this is all your stuff that I've collected that I know of.
Oh yeah, I sent this after this.
Yeah.
Stuff I sent after that,
Let me go on down the line here. Okay, I've got this as a drawing.
That's the old one.
Yeah, and I've got this as a drawing.
The ones I sent in was about the emotions, anger, happy, that type of things. What I sent.
Okay.
Maybe I have to resend them again.
Yeah, if you would, because I don't remember seeing those.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean, if I had them, I would try to get them into the mix. For
Okay.
Sure. Okay.
I'll resend them then.
But yeah, that's everything I had on you. Right.
Okay.
Yeah. I've been doing a little organizing, so I went through and I made a folder for everybody, so everybody's work is in a folder. So I've got
Oh, that's a
everything you
good
sent
idea.
me. I've gotten so far.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll resend it.
We got a few minutes still left here, and let's see. I want to go back and I want to talk a little bit. We looked at these this morning. I don't know, there may be some new people here, but did everybody see the work from Escher?
Yes.
I saw that one.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. You know, particularly like, you know, pieces like this,
That's
which everybody had a lot of.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But he did, God, he had to have done literally hundreds of these drawings. And the thing is, in looking at them, you know, they're kind of optical tricks. And he's playing with perspective. But if you just look at this on the basis of a drawing, okay, and, you know, how he went about, you know, rendering shapes and forms and his use of value, right? He was very good, you know, at being very conscious about, you know, light and how to play with it so that he could really make the most impact out of a drawing. A lot of these, I'm guessing that a lot of these were done as a final, like pen and ink type finish. And look at the range of value that he built out of those black lines. And some of these, you know, are very fine. And so they get this, you know, very light range of value to them, while others are built up very heavily and you get these really strong darks. And the thing about drawing in particular, since normally it's not a colored medium, it's monochromatic, you really have to rely on value a lot to really, you know, push and bring out your shapes and forms. And the thing I would say with most of you is spend a little bit of time practicing, you know, with that, you know, pencil or whatever you're drawing with, and find ways of creating a range of value. You know, even if you only spend time doing like value scales, you know, it's like how can I make a light value? How can I make a mid-tone? How can I make a dark? You know, how can I make something solid black and then areas that I leave solid white, or whatever the color of the paper is, right? And it's like the more range of value that you can begin to produce, you know, in your drawings, the more impact that they'll have, right? And it's one thing to, and I know, you know, when you're first beginning to draw, you're struggling with just trying to capture, you know, the proportions and get things kind of where they belong. But you got to keep pushing yourself, and you got to keep experimenting and pushing, you know, particularly in areas of your techniques for rendering and creating a range of value. Unless everything that you do is completely lineal. And, you know, there are a few artists who have worked that way. But for the most part, you know, you've got to be able to
I have a question.
Shape and
I have
form.
a question.
Yes.
And you may not be able to finish. You may not be able to finish it. The answer, but on the previous picture, the way that he had the different ups and downs.
Yeah, this one.
My question is, how did he come about with the shading? Because, you know, when you have the light coming in from one direction, the
Right.
darkness is on the opposite side. But the
Right.
way he has it with this different light variations
Exactly.
here,
Yes. Yeah.
how do you do that?
Well, he again, you know, he designed, you know, he didn't follow the rules of light coming from one direction. You know, he played with it pretty freely, and he really used those light and dark changes in value to, again, you know, push or pull that space. so that you got this sense of depth and form in all of this. And